We start in January when a boater disappeared while duck hunting off the Little River jetties. The South Carolina Department of Natural Resources determined no foul play was suspected after Tyler Doyle's waders and wallet were found off the North Carolina coast. According to DNR, Doyle dropped a friend off at the North Jetty and then went to set up duck decoys. The two were on the phone together, but the friend then lost contact with Doyle. Doyle then called his friend and said his boat was having mechanical issues and he couldn't keep the motor running. He also said the boat was taking on water. SCDNR says investigators were able to confirm multiple phone calls from Doyle to his friend, along with family and other friends looking for help. Then in December, the SCDNR asked SLED to help out in its investigation. The suspected Chinese spy balloon that was first spotted in Montana was spotted across the PD in February and then moved to the coast a few days later. The balloon was shot down February 4th off the coast. China insisted the balloon was a civilian airship used mainly for meteorological research that went off course due to winds and had limited self-steering capabilities. The United States insisted it was a spy balloon.
What I want China to know is that the American capability to do damage to China, economy and military, you don't want to go down that road.
Officials said the U.S. believes that Navy, Coast Guard, and FBI personnel collected all of the balloon debris off the ocean floor. That capped 3 dramatic weeks that saw U.S. fighter jets shoot down 4 airborne objects: the large China balloon and 3 much smaller objects over Canada, Alaska, and Lake Huron, the first known peacetime shootdowns of unauthorized objects in U.S. airspace. The big news in March was the discovery that a Myrtle Beach man was among the 4 Lake City natives kidnapped in Mexico. 2 were found dead. Officials said the 4 were kidnapped in an area of the country dominated by factions of the powerful Gulf drug cartel. Supposedly, one of the 2 kidnapped survivors said they were going to Mexico for a tummy tuck cosmetic surgery. Another big story that played out in March: a judge sentenced lawyer Alec Murdaugh to spend the rest of his life in prison for the murder of his wife and youngest son at their sprawling Colleton County estate. This after the jury deliberated for less than 3 hours. At sentencing, Murdaugh maintained his innocence, just as he did when he testified in his own defense during the 6-week trial. Then in November, victims angrily confronted Murdaugh in court after he stole $12 million from them. The disgraced lawyer was sentenced to 27 years in prison for financial fraud. Then in September, an F-35 fighter jet disappeared after the pilot was found in North Charleston after safely ejecting from the plane. Officials with Joint Base Charleston then confirmed debris from that fighter jet had been found in Williamsburg County in Indiantown. There were no reported injuries.
I said, what in the world is this?
72-year-old Randolph White became a viral sensation after that interview.
First thought came to me, I said, must a meteorite come out of space or something?
There was no clear reason for the incident. Officials with Joint Base Charleston are calling it a mishap. Moving on to November, Bhagavan Doc Antle pleaded guilty to federal conspiracy and money laundering charges. This wasn't the first conviction for the former Tiger King star. In June, he was found guilty in Virginia for wildlife trafficking and conspiracy to traffic wildlife. Authorities said he illegally bought endangered lion cubs in Frederick County that were later put on display in Myrtle Beach. And those are some of your top stories of 2023. For News 13, I'm Patsy Kelly.